Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is so nice to be back recording. I haven't filmed a video in so long. I had to take a little break from YouTube and filming videos, and then it just took me a really long time to get back into it. I'm really excited to be doing this now. I wanted to film this video on Boxing Day because it was like really exciting to me, but I couldn't find my camera battery charger, so I had to order a new one, wait for it to get here, yada yada yada. But we're now here, back filming. Can we just take a moment to appreciate this jumper? It is fantastic. It's very hot sat here under this light. I didn't think I would be hot, but I kind of feel like Jim Carrey when he dances Cuban Pete in The Mask. It's like dun 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 dun. Anyway, my video today is going to be reviewing the Neverland Beauty and Health makeup brushes. These are a dupe of the Artis brushes, the like oval round toothbrush, whatever you want to call them, those brushes. I got these for Christmas. Ryan bought them for me because when he asked me for things that I wanted for Christmas, I mentioned these. Obviously I didn't want the actual ones, they are hella expensive. It was more that I just wanted to try them more than anything else, and I said to him, don't get me eye brushes because I know they're probably going to be awful. So I just really wanted to try the face brushes, but he ended up getting me a pack of 10 because obviously they're kind of cheap anyway. Not that I would normally look up the price of a Christmas present, but obviously, you know, this is an exception. So these are the brushes. This is what you can see. There is a pack of 10. So you've got like foundation brushes, down to like thinner brushes, and then your eye brushes. I have tried a few of these already because, like I say, I really wanted to try them. And yeah, but what I thought I would do is I would review them against normal brushes, because I've seen a lot of reviews of these against the real Artis versions, these versus, the Artis versus like fake versions. But obviously this is like a starter set. So for some people who'd be buying this, it'd be like their first makeup brushes. So I thought I would do these versus normal, like handled makeup brushes. So if you were trying to decide which ones to get, if you didn't have any already or anything like that, this might give you a bit more of a well-rounded review. This is obviously the biggest one. I used this one for powder because I thought this was going to be a bit too big for foundation. I'll show you in a minute compared to the normal foundation brush. This is like twice the size. But yeah, let's just get into it and give it a go. Okay, so for foundation, I'm going to use the second largest brush. When I tried them out, I used the third largest, which is this one here, for my foundation. It looks quite small, but when you compare it to like the Real Techniques buffing brush, they're actually kind of similar in size. But today I'm actually going to use the second biggest just because I want to give it a go and see how quick it can be. This one was super quick, but we'll see this one. And then on the other side, obviously, I'm going to use the Real Techniques buffing brush. I'm not going to go through and tell you really what makeup I'm using, just because otherwise this video will be a gazillion years long. I will obviously link everything below. Just before we get started, I will say about these brushes, the neck on them is very flimsy, so I'd be kind of worried about them like bending. But when I do them, I hold them like this, and like I use my fingers like a bit of an anchor. They're really dense, unbelievably soft. So yes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and apply it directly to the brush. And I'm going to use the overbrush first, and I'm going to use this on the left side of my face. Obviously, I have tried this before, and they are unbelievably quick. Obviously, this one's even quicker because this is bigger than the one that I used previously. I actually really like these brushes for foundation. They blend the foundation out really nicely. It gives you a really nice finish. The brushes don't hold onto too much of the product, but I'd probably say they hold onto more than a normal brush would. It blends it in really nicely. I don't feel like it leaves any streaks whatsoever. So there we go, there's that side done. You might not see a lot of difference on camera. My skin is actually pretty good at the minute. The only difference is probably that I've got quite pink cheek. But yeah, I really love these brushes for foundation. This one was probably quicker than the other one. They're super duper soft. Yeah, you can just do it so quickly. They feel really nice on the skin, and it really does make your skin look really nice and airbrushed. Moving on to the buffing brush, everybody knows, if you've seen any of my videos before, my love for Real Techniques brushes. The buffing brush is one of my favourite of their brushes, their foundation brushes. Obviously this one is super quick because I feel like you've probably got more of a grip on it. So with this you probably use more circular and buffy motions, stippling motions, whereas with the brush you kind of swipe it across your face a bit more. I do feel this brush holds onto far less product though than the other one. The other one's not awful for it, but I just feel like this just distributes it more evenly across your face. So there we go, that is foundation. Both give a really, really similar finish. Like I say, both brushes are built very similarly in the way that the bristles are shaped and that kind of thing. So both do give a very, very nice even coverage, very, very similar. There's not a noticeable difference. If I went out, people wouldn't say, you've used 2 different brushes to apply your foundation today. Yeah, I don't necessarily think I could necessarily pick one over the other for different qualities. It both does really, really well. I do really like the brush. It is super duper quick. Maybe if you use the big one, it would be even quicker. I don't know, but I really like them both. For concealer, I'm going to use the same buffing brush on this side of my face because I know that this one works really well. It gets around the contours of your face and it's okay to use on your eyelid. And it's super, super duper quick. For concealer on this side of my face, the other day when I tried these, I used the smallest oval brush, which is this size. But I didn't feel like it really did anything. I just kind of felt it like moved it around. So I'm going to use this size, which is the second smallest one. I know it's quite big, but I might try this blending out and then this for getting in the inner corner and to see how it goes. Yeah, this big one is definitely better for blending it out. The small one I just kind of felt just like moved the product around and made it a bit streaky. So this one's definitely better. Maybe because it's like there's a larger surface area. It's obviously hard to get right into your inner corner. Not awful, but not as easy as the buffing brush. For powder on the left side of my face, I'm going to use the smallest oval one, the one that I did use for concealer. I'm going to use this just to apply some loose powder. And then the other side, I'm going to use the Real Techniques setting brush. So I'll do this side first. Obviously, I don't even really need to use a mirror to do this one, because I know where I'm going with this. Obviously, I love a fluffy brush for powder. I feel they are the best. I don't know how it's going to go with the oval brush, just because I like being able to kind of swirl it. Onto the other side, obviously you can see the powder a lot more on the brush. I don't know if you can see it on there, but it obviously doesn't pick it up as well. But we're going to give it a go. And I'm just kind of stippling it on very gently. It's weird, it doesn't feel like it's really doing anything. There we go, so I've applied the powder on that side. It's done it perfectly okay, but it did take a lot longer because it's smaller and you kind of have to dab and move it around, and yeah, it just takes a while. So yeah, it's okay, it's just going to take you a lot longer. I already knew that I wasn't going to like these brushes for powder, even though it says that you can, excuse me, even though it says you can use them for creams, powders, whatever, all kinds of makeup. I don't feel that's right. I feel like they're good for creams, yeah, but powders, I'm just like, I'm going to move on to some cream bronzer, and for this I'm going to use the third largest brush, which is the brush I originally used for foundation when I first tried it. And I'm just going to put this straight into the compact. It does blend out nicely. It hasn't deposited too much product onto my face. Yep, that's nice, and obviously it's blended into my foundation really well. For the other side of my face, I'm going to use a Real Techniques sculpting brush. Again, very similar to the buffing brush, it's just like dense bristles, so it's a very, very similar brush, just a different handle really. Deposits a very similar amount of product, although obviously I do feel like I've got more control with this one because I can really grip the barrel of the brush. But yeah, once again, very similar effect on both sides. It looks exactly the same. Moving on to bronzer, this might be a struggle because I'm kind of running out of brushes that I haven't used cream products on. So I've wiped this brush off. This is the one that I used for, what did I use this for? Cream contouring. So I'm just going to dip a little bit of the powder in. Now last time I tried this, putting the powder on top of the cream, it went a bit muddy. So we're going to see how it goes. I'm just going to tap it on and kind of, I don't know, rub a little bit. And I also just feel it's a bit heavy and a bit clunky. Like I feel like because they're so dense, you can't really like diffuse a powder. But we shall carry on, as Brits do. I'm not going to do any more than that, as I feel like it's getting a bit muddy and a bit orangey. But hey ho. For the other side of my face, I'm just going to use a very, very basic powder brush that I got in a very, very cheap set a couple of years ago. I just really like it for bronzer. It's the right shape for my face, so I use it. See, I just don't think you can beat a nice good old-fashioned powder brush for putting on powders, can you? I mean, I don't know if it's picking up on camera. This side just looks a bit heavy and clunky. This side just looks a bit more... To contour my face with the normal barrel brushes, I'm just using I think it's a contour brush from Bourjois UK. I got it in a glossy box. I adore it. I'm just going to pop that under the holes of my cheeks on this side. On this side, I'm going to use the brush that I used to set my under eyes with powder. It is quite small for contour, but the next size up is the one I used for cream contour and bronzer. So I don't really want to mix them in together. Plus, I also don't really want to make it any muddier than it already is. So, ooh. I feel like it's kind of just, I've got a bit of like a white line. I feel like it's kind of just rubbing off a little bit. I mean, you know, this brush is really nice and small, so it does give you like a really nice, you know, like straight contour. I just feel it's a bit muddy, and then it would just take you forever to fix and blend out. Whereas I just think this side looks far more natural. This side just looks a bit overdone. Right, I'm not going to do any more to that because I'm just going to make it worse. Moving on to blush, I'm going to use the third biggest size, and I'm just going to apply this to my cheeks. Oh, I actually quite like that. It's not applied it too heavily. And this brush is also the right shape for my cheeks. For this side of my face, I'm just using a Real Techniques blush brush. Super duper simple. Whack it on. This side does actually deposit a bit more colour, and it's also kind of put it in one place. A bit more than this side. This side, surprisingly actually, kind of buffed it out a little bit more. This side just looks a tad bit heavier. Anyway, moving on to highlighter. Oh, which one to use for highlighter? I might go back to this tiny one that I used for under eye powder and contour. So let's just rub it off a little bit. Swirly, swirly, swirly. Tappy, tappy, tappy. I'm going to pop that on this side. If you like a subtle highlighter, not overly glowy, then it is quite nice actually. I thought it was going to be a bit chunky, but no, that's quite nice. Although you do have to get any like payoff. You can't just kind of tap it in the product, you do have to kind of swirl. So I do feel like it wastes a lot. On the other side, I'm going to use my regular highlighting brush, which is a Morphe M501 brush. Moving on to eyes, I just don't feel these brushes are going to do the eyes any good. You've got kind of two rounded ones and then two longer ones. I'm not going to do my eyebrows with these brushes because I just think it's going to be completely awful. This would be the one I'd use for my eyebrows, so I don't know necessarily what I'm going to use this one for. So I might just try and use these three. I'm going to do something really, really basic because I just think this is going to be hella awful. Okay, so it's not applying horrendously badly, but it's applying a large amount in one area and it's just going to take me forever to buff it out. And also this is only a really, really simple colour as well. These brushes would not do anything dramatic or anything detailed or anything like that. Although it does pack the eyeshadow on very pigmented, you could get the exact same from a fluffy brush like this, which is what my choice would be, because it just does it super duper quick in probably about a third of the time. I'm going to attempt to put a dark shadow in my crease with the next smallest little round brush. I'm going to pick up the tiniest amount of product ever. Oh. And as you can see, it just does not blend it out whatsoever. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and fix this off camera. I'm going to finish off my other eye, I'm going to do my eyebrows, and then I will come back for a video roundup at the end. Okay, I am back. So I tried to finish off this eye makeup, but what I had to do was I had to go in and save it with the normal eye brushes because they were just not doing it, so I was not even going to attempt my eyebrows. I've seen other people do it, but I don't think I'd have been able to do my eyebrows with those brushes whatsoever. So overall, what do I think? Eye brushes, absolutely, completely, 100% a no-no. Awful. If you want to just buy eye brushes, don't do it. Powder, also, I'd say a 95% no-no unless you're going to buy one for blush, but who would buy powder brushes just for blush? They're multi-purpose, so maybe just use one of the face ones for blush. But aside from that, for applying contour, for applying bronzer, for applying anything else, no, I did not like them. Now, for applying cream products like foundation, concealer, cream contour, cream bronzer, that kind of thing, I absolutely love them. So I think my foundation applies flawlessly with these brushes. I think they're really, really nice. I think it buffs out concealer really well. I think it adds a really nice kind of glow with cream bronzer. So I imagine that cream contour would be very, very similar. So if you were to buy just like a face pack, then definitely I think it's worth it. Obviously, if you go for the brush set like mine, or there's loads of brush sets out there that aren't going to cost you the world. They aren't going to cost you an arm and a leg. You can get them relatively cheaply. So if you were to get them in a big pack that had sort of all the brushes for powder and eyes and that kind of thing, it's not the end of the world, because you can just choose the products that you want out of there because it's not costed you a lot. So yes, overall for cream products, I really like them. I'm probably going to use some of them in my normal routine, foundation, that kind of thing, definitely. Definitely not for powder and definitely not for eyes. But do I think they're worth giving a go? Yes, definitely 100%. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that it's super duper long. I'm trying to get my videos nice and short, but it's just not happening for me because I like to chat. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did, and please subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. And I will see you guys very soon. Bye guys.